All right. Good morning. We are live. Good morning, everybody. Randall here with a another of our agent series. We're diving into some of our top producers within our organization, and this morning we're happy to have with us one of my most favorite and top producing agents out of our Cherry Hill office, Connie Curci. Connie, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Randall. Thanks for having me on today. I'm doing well.
Great. Well, Connie, I wanted to have like a little conversation with you that you could kind of share some of your tips and tricks and thoughts and maybe a little background as to how you got into the business and everything and this is going to be good for not only for the general public, the buyers and the sellers out there to get to know you a little bit more and to know why they should use you, but also for our agents and people that will be agents with us one day to find out the things that really work for you here at Remax Preferred. So I guess we're going to get started into a little bit of the history. So Connie, it always starts off. What got you into real estate? Like what how did you make that decision to get into real estate?
So it all started over 30 years ago when I was trying to decide what to do with my life, and I decided to get my real estate license. My dad owned an exterminating company, knew a lot of realtors. So I went to work with Jimmy Gilbride with Jim Gilbride Realty. I only lasted for under 2 years, and then I decided I was going to get married and raise a family. So I went on to do that. I did not renew my license for after those couple of years. And then 18 years ago, after my divorce, I realized that I needed a career, starting over at 34 years old with two small kids. And what was I going to do? Real estate had, given me that great interest. So I definitely decided this is what I want to do. And I went and got my license, and I've never looked back. It's the best decision I have ever made.
Oh, great. So you started off with the Gilbride, office, which, funny, all these years later, Gilbride is now, I guess he's following you because after you came to Remax Preferred, Jim Gilbride is now with Remax Preferred also, right?
Yes, it was very funny. It was really cool to see Jimmy in here.
And so you went to you started off your career with Gilbride, but after that you went to what company or what?
So when I got my license 18 years ago, I went to Weichert. I was there for about 8 years. Would you like to know why I left?
Well, no, you can tell me the reason why you went there.
Okay, so this is interesting. So I actually interviewed with several agencies at the time where I got my license again 18 years ago.
Where the full stream is. This one only has Randall.
Excuse me?
I think that's Thomasina cutting in somehow. She's online, but keep going.
Okay, great. Yeah. So 18 years ago, I interviewed with several agencies, Remax actually being one of them. At the time, Remax was a company with only experienced agents. They had a different type of split at the time. And I thought, I'm not sure I'm ready for the big boys yet. And Weichert offered a great training program at the time. So that was where I went. I also wanted to be in Voorhees in the community where I lived. So that was why I had chosen Weichert. They did have an interesting new agent program, mentor program, that type of thing. And that was why I started out there.
So then you've been with us for 10 years, and I heard you say, where the big boys are playing, or big boys and big girls, I guess. So you decided to make that move to Remax about 10 years ago. Tell me why you did that and what did you find that you liked there?
So after being with Weichert for 8 years, and I have no regrets. You do the things you do for reasons. I learned a lot at Weichert. It was a good company, but I realized that I was not earning the amount of money that I should be earning, and I was losing a lot of leads on listings that I was paying for advertising for it and so forth. So I decided that it's time to interview a few other companies. One of the things I liked about Remax is that it was not corporate compared to your Weichert, your Berkshires, and some other companies that I talked to. They're corporate. It's a different way of running your business. When I came to interview with Remax, I realized that being a franchise, it was a different atmosphere. I was not only an independent contractor, just like I was at Weichert, but I had more ability to run my own business, but still had support if I needed it. I found that I would be able to, if a call came in on one of my listings, that lead was coming right to me. It wasn't going to some new agent or part-time agent sitting on the desk, waiting for the phones to ring. So that enabled me to go out and run my business. And if calls were going to come in on my listings, I wasn't missing out on them. I also realized at the time that RE/MAX had made some changes as well to entice a lot of different types of agents, but it still had the experience that I was looking for. So when I came to work here, it was just a phenomenal feeling to know I was with other experienced agents. And it's a family here. Even though we all work for ourselves, it's still a family. And that feels really good. And it's good to pass along for me and for my clients, knowing that I work in such a supportive company.
So I want to go back to that. You say that you get your own leads, and I get what that means to you as an agent. You're able to determine where your advertising actually works. But how does that help your clients, your sellers, that you actually get the leads?
Well, it helps my clients immensely. So if I take a listing on a property, nobody knows that listing other than the owners, of course, and their family, better than me. So if a buyer out there drives by, sees a sign or sees it online, today they're seeing it online, and they're calling an office. If you're at another company that does this called opportunity time, you're going to be speaking to an agent who's probably never been in the property. All they're really going to do is try to make an appointment with you. They can't give you the information. They're not presenting that property in the best light. Well, my sellers are paying me money to list their property and get it sold. So the idea is if these buyers are seeing the house online or seeing the sign and they're calling me, I can tell them about the house. I can tell them more than it's 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms and it's got a great yard, as the listing says. I can give them more information. I can give them the feeling behind the house. That's generating more interest to where those buyers are already getting a little background. Then we get them pre-qualified and we get them in there to see the property. They're already feeling really good about it because they got a lot of basic information that they would not have gotten from another agent, especially an agent. Number one, as I mentioned, they've never seen the house. Number two, now they may be working with an agent who's not experienced. Maybe they're a part-time agent. So it benefits my sellers that the buyers coming in their house, they know if I'm taking care of them, they're pre-qualified, they're dealing with an experienced agent, it benefits them immensely.
So if they hire Connie, they get Connie. I mean, that's pretty. They're not just getting whoever is walking through the office. They're getting you to represent them and to show the house and to look out for their best interest in selling that property.
Yes.
And we like that because that's one of the many things that makes RE/MAX a lot different than a lot of other offices that are out there. And it's a benefit not only to you as an agent, but it's a benefit all the way down to the buyers and the sellers that are out there. Even the buyers that call up, they can get even more detailed information about a property than if it was someone who have never seen the property or may have never even shown a property before.
Exactly.
Quite interesting. So on that same note, we were talking about the things that are different for your sellers. Let's get into and this will be good for agents and buyers and sellers. Let's give our agents some tips as to what you might do differently if you're selling somebody's house. So you go out and you get a listing, and we all think, okay, I got a listing. We put it in the MLS and it should sell. But what are some of the things that you do in addition to put it in the MLS to make sure that it maximizes the marketing and you get your people the best number?
Well, the first thing is, before I even get the listing, is realizing that no matter who called me to list their home, I need to bring my A game. A lot of agents think, oh, that's my brother's uncle, sister's mother, or that's my neighbor. I've got this one. And
Right.
They go out there and they don't really present their best A game. So the seller never really knows what they're going to do for them. And I've seen other agents say, God, I thought I had that one. And I can't say I've never made the mistake myself. So I know after learning all these years, I bring my A game every time, no matter who the seller is, no matter if I know them. 92% of my business comes from past clients. So most likely, if I'm going out on an appointment, I either know the person or I know someone who knows them. So even though, and it's nice because there's that trust there, but I still got to make sure that they're going to know everything I'm going to do for them. So right now, we have had many different markets. I think one of the most important things when you're sitting down with a seller is for that seller to understand that you know this market. And in my case, I know this market and I know many other markets. So I'm able to differentiate. I'm able to know what works in each of these markets. In the olden days, I was doing print advertising like crazy. Everybody was grabbing those books. Today's things are a little bit different. Everything's digital. Today's market, meaning today, we're completely different. Putting a sign up, and we don't even have to put a sign up. You put it in the MLS and it's gone. So a lot of sellers are thinking, well, why do we even need an agent? Because I could sell my house on my own. This market, more than ever, people need experience. They need someone they can trust. They need a true professional. Because yes, we can get 10 offers on your property, but let's make sure we're picking the right one. So there's so many more things going into it. So number one, knowing the different markets is vital. Me personally, I always use a professional photographer. Even in this market, I don't care, even if I do a coming soon and then it's going active, I do not take my own photos. Maybe some agents are better at it than me, but I'm using that professional photographer to put my best foot forward from the beginning. And I think that's important from the beginning. And when that listing goes in, all the information is there, the listing, all the photos are there, and everybody who's going to see it knows everything they can about it at the time. So then, again, we've gotten the offers. It's easy to get an offer on a property, but is it easy to get a really good offer? Is it easy to choose between 5 really good offers? And that's when you really need to know what your seller is looking for. So it's really important when you're sitting down with that seller on the first appointment to find out what they need. Do they need to be out quickly? Or do they need to find a home? What are the options for that seller? Do we need to make sure that they're going to have housing? Are they contingent? Do they have to buy another property contingent on this one? Or are they not contingent and they're ready to go? Are they moving out of state? Are they getting a rental? Are they upsizing, downsizing? You have to know who your seller is. It's the best way you're going to be able to serve them. By knowing all of that, then when you're listing the property and the offers are coming in and you're having that conversation with your sellers, you kind of already know what is going to be good for them. Now you need to make sure that those buyers are fully qualified, and you need to have conversations with the other agents. Especially what I'm seeing today is I've gotten my 10 offers or my 8 offers, and I stop it at that. Some agents are showing for so long they have 30 offers. I think it's a bit much, but I like to get my good offers. Normally my clients don't want to show it for weeks at a time, and you don't need to. A few good days on the market is giving you a multitude of offers. But then you're sitting down and you're looking at those offers. I've seen it happen where, you've got some great offers. So you're calling, you and your seller decide, let's go with that one. You call them up and guess what? You get a funny feeling an hour later, oh, by the way, my client's picked another house. So you have to make sure before you're even deciding on that person, on that agent, I'm calling them. So I'm taking the 3 best offers. I'm calling the agents before we make a final decision to make sure that agent's or that buyer is still wants that house. And if that's the case, then yes, then we can move forward with that. But you still got to keep your backups. I've seen agents where you're just like, too bad you didn't get it. That's not the right attitude. It's thank you so much for your offer. We've chosen another one, but we will definitely keep you posted if anything changes, or if I come up with another one, I'll be sure to call you first because your buyer seemed really solid. By keeping that strong relationship with the other agents out there, it's going to help you. It's going to help you if you need them for if this deal falls apart, and it's going to help you with other buyers as well. So there's so many things that are going into it, but that's why it's really important to use an experienced agent to make sure that the offers that you're choosing are going to keep moving forward.
So I just, some important points that I just heard is you're still having them do professional photographs on the house, even though it could be going under agreement without any photographs being in there, but you're still doing everything that you can do to maximize the marketing for your folks, because it's important that they're entrusting you to buy that or to sell that house for them, that you're giving them like the full service, and nothing looks better than the difference between professional photographers and us normal folks. It just makes a house go wow. I equate it to going to a restaurant and seeing the food on the menu versus what comes on your plate. Well, it might be close, but it really looks good, on the menu. And that's what's going to draw you in to order that house or to order that plate or, That's an incredible thing that you do there. And then I'm hearing that you know the house and you know the market, so you can give your clients really good advice. You do your homework. Do you do when you do your listing appointments? Do you do the same presentation, or is it a book presentation? Is it something on your laptop, or like what do you do on your presentation, for folks?
So I have a binder where I put all my information in there. I have information about myself, my experience. I have information about Remax, the company, what sets the company apart, what sets me apart. And I have the whole presentation, talks a lot about me and what I'm going to do for them, talks about the market. There's some graphs, there's a little bit of everything in it. And then, of course, there's the comparables with the comparative market evaluation for their property. I always include my Zillow reviews that people can read about afterwards. I leave the binder with them. I include some other good tips as far as getting your house ready for the appraiser. A little bit of information maybe about what the market's going on today. And always leave them with a little chocolate thank you to say, hey, thanks for having me over today. Because again, no matter if you know them or not, people want to know that they're appreciated. And I do. I appreciate the time that people are taking sitting there with me, talking to me about their lifelong dreams of buying, selling, or problems that they're having. I mean, there's a lot that goes into selling a home. Usually it's a good thing, but sometimes it's not. So, being able to get close to that client to understand where they're coming from is very important. Making sure they have all that information is vital. So that's why I do go there. I do one-time presentation. So I gather all of my information ahead of time. I do not put a number in my binder. I don't know the number till I've seen the house. I might know the area. I might know what every one of their neighbors' houses sold for, but I can't say what their house is going to sell for until I've actually gone out and taken a look at it. Sometimes people are telling me, I upgraded everything. Well, you find out they upgraded it 20 years ago. That's a big difference. And then there's other people that don't realize what the market's like. So they're just like, yeah, my house isn't all that great. And then you get there and you're like, whoa. So I don't ever put the number in the book. The numbers are in my head with a range because of the information I gather ahead of time, because of my knowledge of the market, so that after I go through the property and after we sit down and talk, then I'm able to come up with a number much easier. I will say in this market, it's hard to come up with a number. I've gone out on many listing presentations where I have a number in my head and I really know what the house should be listed for. And that number, say, is $300,000. But I also know the market. And I know if we listed it for 300, everybody would be all over it because they can get more. So the idea is, probably you're going to go a little bit higher. You don't want to go too high, but even by going a little higher, say you go 320, and I'm speaking from experience, next thing you know, you do put it on the market for that price, and you kind of think you're overpriced, but the market's crazy. And then you're getting offers for 350 and 370, and it's a crazy market. So it's very hard to keep up with everything because you're looking at the comparables. But what sold 3 months ago isn't what's happening today. So you really have to do your research. Sometimes before it's just, okay, here's the solds and that's it. I make some phone calls. I call up some pendings. I try to get some information so that when I go there, I'm really prepared. And I know that their neighbor's house that is under contract, we have an idea of what it's going to settle for. That's going to help me. So it's not just looking on the computer and printing out a few things. There's a lot of research that goes into it today.
So, you mentioned, you thought it would be worth 300, maybe you listed at 320 and you got offers that are as much as 370. Does the highest offer always win? And, is there a time that a buyer or seller may not want to take, a 370 versus a 350 or 340 with different types of terms? I'm throwing you for a loop there because I know that's not but
I'm ready for you.
That's a real day, everyday type of thing. Like, their buyers like, oh, I'll pay 400, and you look at it and you're like, this deal's not going to go together at 4. That's not a real number. So
right.
What else do you look at in those offers, that makes you decide which one? It might be a higher number, but it may not be a better offer.
Exactly. So yes, you are 100% correct. So sometimes it's worth taking some less money if it's a cash deal. And the buyer says, hey, cash deal, I'll give you, and it's usually for more money as well. So maybe it's 350 instead of 370, but it's cash. So now the buyers are not contingent on getting a mortgage. The buyers have stated that we're not getting an appraisal on the property, so we don't care if it appraises low. They also might have some good terms. So in addition to price, and yes, usually price is the main thing that everybody wants. Everybody wants the most money for their house. But we have to keep other things in mind. If the deal doesn't go together and we don't get to closing, how many months are you going to be back on the market until you get to your next closing? That costs you money too. So you have to look at everything that's involved. We also have to look at when the sellers are looking to close and when the buyers have offered their closing date. Do you have a buyer that needs to close right away? And yeah, they're going to give you this much money, but you have to be out of your home in 30 days. Well, what if you can't do that? You have no place to go and you know you need 60 days. You have somebody that maybe they didn't offer as much, but they'll give you the closing date that you want. So those factors are being taken into consideration. Today, you're seeing a lot of buyers out there that are saying, look, I've got extra cash. So I will, if the property doesn't appraise, I'm going to give you the difference in cash. So if it appraises at 330, but I'm going to give you 350, I got an extra 20 to cover it for my mortgage. You know, that's something that a lot of buyers are doing today. As agents who are representing buyers, we just have to be careful that they fully understand what they're doing, they're fully educated, and they feel good about their decision. You know, we don't want people buying houses for more money than maybe they're worth right now and then regretting it down the road. So I always tell my clients, sellers and buyers alike, 6 months after we close and I call you up, I want you to be thrilled to death to be talking to me because you know I helped you make the best decisions for you. That's the most important thing to me. They're going to be happy 6 months down the road and going on further. So, yeah, I know I spread out there, but you have to consider those things. You can't just say, okay, look, take this because this is what's good for you. And sometimes agents are thinking, well, this is the better thing, but you have to really look at that client to decide what is best for them. Another thing buyers are doing now, which is helping sellers, is they're putting a cap on home inspection repairs. So the buyers are saying, look, we're going to get a home inspection, but if any repairs up to such and such amount, say $3,000, I'm responsible for it. Now, that's great for the sellers because now they're not getting, you know, those nitpicky things, little outlets and so forth. But yet the buyer's still covered because if any of the major systems are failing and it's going to be, you know, $5,000 to $10,000 or there's structural damage, that buyer has the right to say, hey, either fix it or I'm going to walk away. Agents have to be really careful. I've presented a few offers with terms similar to that. And we, you know, my bid was accepted. And then I got a contract that said, home inspection is for information only. No. There is one thing about giving up repairs and saying, we'll do the repairs. It's different saying, I'm not going to get a home inspection, and if I do, I can't walk away. You have to make sure your buyer has the right to walk away. And even for your sellers, do you really want to put your seller in that position that if he does have structural damage and the buyer can't walk away, you know, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Everybody knows it. Nobody wants to be in that position. And guess who, you know, the buyer's getting hurt, the seller's getting hurt, the realtors are getting sued. Nobody's using you again. Why would you want that? So look at everything. Look at the future ahead of time. Look at all the possibilities of what can happen before you do things like that. Look out for your clients, buyers and sellers alike. To me, that's key.
You know what? I usually comment on stuff like that, but I don't think that I could say it any better than what you just said it. It's a problem waiting to happen, and I think that you've conveyed some good information over to, you know, our agents or other potential agents that are out there. So I'm going to ask you for, you know, a little bit of a shameless plug because we talked about like some of the things that you like about our company and why an agent would want to come here. So Remax Preferred and Remax in general. Why should someone, either a seller use us or an agent, come and join our organization? What would you say to them?
Well, I will say that one of the reasons I'm here, and I mentioned a few of them. Okay, so as an agent who wants to come to this company, I think you're getting, I hate to use this term, but more bang for your buck. And when I say that, I mean you're getting a fair commit. You're making your money. Nobody's stealing money from you. Nobody's trying to get you here and get you there. This is what you get. This is what you pay. This is what you get. And it's pretty straightforward. So So that's a good thing. I mean, we ultimately, when we're feeding families and so forth, we have to make sure we're making the money we want to make. And we need to make sure that the company that we're working for is not taking advantage of us. To me, that's vital. The next best thing, and we talked about the leads, and that's really important also, but I think it's very important to come to work for a company that has your back, where there's support. So when I come into this office every day, and I'm not that work from home agent, I'm in my office, you see me here every day. I love it. I love the camaraderie. Now, if you talk to anybody else, they'll tell you, Connie's always in her office. She never comes out. I do come out once in a while. And when I do, it's a great feeling to know I've got Winky over here. I've got them. I got everybody all over the place that I can come and talk to. So if I have a question, even after 18 years, I mean, there's agents that have been doing this much longer. So I still run into things that I've never seen. How awesome is it to just knock on somebody's door who's been doing it 20 years, 30 years, and ask them questions? And people will come to me and ask me questions. So again, even though we're independent contractors and work for ourselves, we're a family. We want to help each other. That benefits my clients. So it's great for agents. If you're thinking about coming to different offices and you're not sure who to go to, RE/MAX is the brand as well. So that's really important. That was important to me. Nothing against those mom and pop shops. I think it's awesome to have yourself a little brokerage and to succeed and be successful. I know for me, it's really nice to be able to say to my clients, I work for RE/MAX. We're an international company. We get buyers from all over the world. So that's beneficial to the agents. But going back to the clients, why would anyone want to go with RE/MAX over another company? Branding is very important. So when someone's thinking about selling their home, they know if they're listing with a RE/MAX company and a RE/MAX agent, the majority of times that RE/MAX agent has more experience. They're more professional, and they have a whole company backing them. They know that there's buyers coming from all over the world. That's really important to a seller who's putting their house on the market, even in today's market. Experience, professionalism, those things are very, very important. And if you're an agent and you're not experienced and you come to RE/MAX, guess what? You have experience behind you. So if you're in, I can, at 18 years, I'm able to say, hey, I'm experienced when I go on a listing appointment. If you don't have experience, what do you say? What you can say is, I am backed by a company that has professional, experienced agents all around me at my fingertips if I need them. So that's where you can use the RE/MAX experience for you if you're a newer agent. So I think that's beneficial also. I could really go on and on. I love this company. I'm very, very happy here. Like I said, it was the best decision I ever made when I left Weichert to come here. So many different reasons.
And we are so happy to have you. Actually, I'm thinking if I wasn't already part of it, I'd be ready to sign up just based on what you said. So, Connie, superstar, $1 million producer, top agent, wonderful person, and I'm very thankful that you came on and joined us today. Was there anything else that you wanted to share with our agents this morning? And any other tips or tricks?
Yeah, so it wouldn't. I can't leave without the pride of my business. I'm very passionate about what I do. I love what I do, and if you know me, you know how I run my business. So when I said I run my business, I have 92% of my clients are past clients and referrals. To me, it's the best way to run your business. So if you're an agent out there and you're looking for a new business and you're wondering how to start generating more activity in your business, just reach out to your past clients. Your past clients are a gold mine. They are going to use you again. They are going to refer business to you, but not if they don't know you're in the business anymore. So if you want some business, or if you're looking for listings, your past clients, they know people. So that's my tip of the day.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Connie. And again, we love having you on board. It's all a great job. Every time that we see you, you always give us more information, and we really appreciate your sharing. And I want to say thank you for everybody who came out today, who's listening, or in the future when you're viewing this on YouTube. If you're thinking about buying or selling a house, don't forget, Live with Connie Curci. Her number is down there at the bottom at 856-905-8751. That's her direct cell phone number. For compliance sake, we're going to make sure she's with RE/MAX of Cherry Hill, and that phone number is area code 856-424-4040. And again, RE/MAX of Cherry Hill in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And again, thank you very much, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Thanks, Rendell.
All right, thank you.